Characterized as a duopoly in the world of aviation, Airbus and Boeing have competed with one another since the 1970s. Both have been trying to outclass the other, which has led to a series of mergers within the aerospace industry. From the early 2000s, competition was ramped up with the introduction of both the Boeing 747-8, a lengthened 747-400, and the Airbus A380. Both manufacturers tried to compete for market share for long-haul flights, with the A380 eclipsing the Boeing 747-8 among major airlines. But now that smaller wide-body aircraft are being favored, competition has once again started between the Airbus A350 and Boeing 777X, with Boeing only planning to deliver their first 777X in 2025, and the Airbus A350 already being in service since 2015. We will dive in to see if Boeing can actually compete with the A350. Design philosophy plays a huge role in why aircraft are made. Currently, the Boeing 777X is the world's longest and largest twinjet ever built, and the combination of engines and wingspan promises to usher the aviation world into a new level of fuel efficiency. On the other hand, the Airbus A350 is currently the largest wide-body aircraft in use. This is all thanks to the end of production for the legendary A380. The A350 is manufactured using advanced composite materials like carbon fiber polymers, or CFRP, which replace more traditional materials like aluminum and steel. The benefit of using CFRP makes the A350 the lightest wide-body aircraft in production. Airbus has stated that the efficiency of materials used in the A380 reduces operating costs by a staggering 25%. Internally, both these aircraft are engineering marvels. The A350 currently accommodates between 315 and 369 passengers in a typical two-class seating layout. However, this does change depending on the airline, and Airbus estimates that the maximum passenger capacity for the A350-900 can reach up to 440 seats, with the A350-1000 being able to field an impressive 480 seats. On the other side of the Atlantic, the American manufacturer hasn't announced the seating for the Boeing 777X as of this video. However, Boeing suggests that the seating capacity will exceed that of the A350-1000. Whether this is true remains to be seen. By looking at the size of each aircraft, we do get an idea that the 777X might be a bit larger. It features a length of 251 feet 8 inches, while the A350 is 242 feet 1 inch. Additionally, the folding wing design of the 777-9 is more than 20 feet wider than the A350, coming in at an impressive 238 feet 10 inches. With limited comparisons to be drawn in size, the engines could give us a better idea of which one is better. Both aircraft feature a twinjet design, which means it is powered by two engines. Boeing has gone for the powerful GE9X engines, which offer around 934 kilonewtons of thrust and gives it a cruising speed of Mach 0.85 at an altitude of 35,000 feet. On the other hand, the A350, which is slowly becoming the flagship of many airlines, is powered by two Royce Trent XWB turbofan engines that produce 864 kilonewtons of thrust and give it a cruising speed of Mach 0.85, which is similar to the 777-9. Thanks to these impressive engines and fuel efficiency, both have a similar range, with the A350 being slightly better with a range of 7,992 nautical miles, and the 777-9 has a range of 7,990 nautical miles. Speaking of fuel efficiency, the 777-9 has an overall fuel capacity of 350,410 pounds, which roughly equates to about 48 pounds of fuel use per nautical mile. In comparison, the A350 has a lower fuel capacity of only 274,808 pounds, and when calculated, it comes to a fuel efficiency of 32 pounds per nautical mile. Overall, the A350 is far more fuel efficient than the 777-9. But does this translate to passenger experience? As of this video, the Boeing 777X is only slated to be used for commercial purposes on airlines from 2025, which makes it hard to find evidence of passenger experiences. However, there is plenty of speculation surrounding this topic. Starting with economy class, it is expected that the 777X will have a 10 abreast configuration, with seats being set up in a 3-4-3 configuration. This is the current configuration used for the 777, but with a slightly wider body, the 777X aims to keep this configuration and offer a bit more space. It is expected that a little extra width will be added to the already 18.5-inch width of the seats in the current Boeing 777-300. Passengers can expect the premium economy class to be slightly wider as well. For the A350, the seating has remained similar to that of the A330. Economy seats are around 18 inches wide and feature the same 10 abreast configuration. Keep in mind that the seat width does vary depending on the airline. For business class, both aircraft are similar in the seating setup, but it comes down to the airline on what they want to do. Airlines like Singapore Airlines and Lufthansa are planning a new product for the 777X. However, British Airways have confirmed the same product that features a 232 configuration on their current aircraft. For first class, most passenger airlines have their own idea of what they want to achieve. Emirates is currently the leader when it comes to first-class features. For the A350, the airline CEO has gone on record saying they won't have first class as part of their product. However, the 777X will be fully enclosed from the outside, giving you optimal privacy for first-class passengers. With other airlines like British Airways offering first class, we know that the A350 has a comfortable first-class experience. It remains to be seen if the 777X is only hype. So, who plans to operate the 777X and A350? Singapore Airlines is the biggest operator of the A350, with around 64 currently in operation. However, Delta Airlines in the US is also building its fleet, operating 34 A350s as of this video. In essence, more than 30 airlines are currently operating the A350, and an estimated 530 A350s are said to be active as of the release of this video. Emirates, one of the biggest Airbus customers, currently operates more than 100 A380s. However, the lower demand has seen them move to smaller aircraft like the A350. Whilst Emirates does not currently operate the A350, plans are to have 50 new A350-900s delivered by 2024, adding to the current production of A350s in the service. With 530 A350s already delivered and another 928 currently on order, this does make it a mountain to climb for the American manufacturer. But let's see how many Boeing has on order. Massive delays in the production of the Boeing 777X have many airlines choosing the A350. However, the American manufacturer plans to have the 777X delivered by 2025. 7 airlines currently have orders placed for the 777X, which include Emirates, Etihad, Qatar, Lufthansa, Singapore, and Cathay Pacific, among many others. Emirates is currently ahead in the queue with an estimated 115 Boeing 777X aircraft on order, but Qatar is hot on their heels with 74 777X aircraft on order. The other 5 airlines make up the rest of the 350 orders that Boeing is currently working to produce. But with all these orders and none being delivered, it does create confusion on which one will ultimately dominate the sky for long-haul flights in the wide-body aircraft market. One way to figure out what the future will hold for these 2 aircraft is to look at the cost of each. Currently, it costs an eye-watering $442.2 million for a single Boeing 777-9, which is even more expensive than its older brother, the 777-8, which costs about $410.2 million itself. In comparison, the A350-1000 is the most expensive of the 2 A350s in the sky. While still expensive, it is only $366.5 million, with the A350-900 being only $317.4 million. This means that the A350s are almost $100 million cheaper than the variations of the Boeing 777, and means that smaller airlines will inevitably opt for the A350. All this combines to make the A350 a highly sought-after option. and it has a slightly better future than the Boeing 777X. Now, we are sure that many of you Boeing fans will disagree with this statement, and we would love to see your comments and feedback as to why you think the 777X will eclipse the A350 in the global battle for air supremacy. Be sure to let us know which one you think will be the next king of the sky and take over from the A380.